Well, before I start this video, again, another massive shout out to Atlas VPN for sponsoring today's video. For those of you who don't know, Atlas VPN was designed by top cybersecurity specialists and IT engineers in 2019. Created Atlas VPN to make the internet accessible and secure for everyone. Over 6 million users worldwide. It stops ads, malware, blocking malicious links, ads and trackers, notifies you when someone's trying to steal your data, and protects unlimited devices. All your devices protected with a single subscription. Check out the link below for the Black Friday deal for Atlas VPN, 6 months extra and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So anyone that tries to say that immigration wasn't the defining issue of the Brexit referendum hasn't got a clue what they're talking about. The research at the time clearly shows what many of us knew to be the reality on the ground across the country. You see here the British election study in 2016 showing you there a word cloud that what the key concern for Leave voters was immigration. That is as clear as it can possibly get. Of course, other issues, other concerns relating to sovereignty, control and laws. But you see as well, when it comes to undecided voters at the time, immigration was the dominant issue. So anyone that tries to argue that the Leave vote, that the vote for Brexit wasn't about taking back control and ending open door mass migration hasn't got a clue what they're talking about as far as I'm concerned. And I think the research backs that up. Certainly when we fast forward to November 2022, you see here with YouGov, 59% of the country, so basically 6 in 10 Brits, say that immigration over the last 10 years has been too high. That rises to 87% of Conservative voters. So virtually all Conservative voters, as well as 60% of the country, thinks immigration has been too high over the past decade. Now, of course, we did see former Conservative leaders and Prime Ministers like David Cameron and Theresa May pledged to reduce net migration down to what I would consider to be sensible levels in the tens of thousands net per year. Of course, Cameron and May couldn't deliver that inside the EU with open borders. The absurdity is that post-Brexit, the Conservative government have decided to continue with net migration each year deep into the hundreds of thousands. If we just look, for instance, for the year ending June 2021, you see there net migration of 239,000 people. Now, even the BBC recently acknowledged that migration has formed the biggest part of population rises that we've seen in England and Wales. You see there, for instance, the Romanian-born population in England and Wales rose by 576% between 2011 and 2021. We look at population growth in the country. We see, for instance, 57.5% of that was due to positive net migration. Now, the likes of Dominic Raab, who of course now is the Deputy Prime Minister, he himself, when he was Housing Minister, actually admitted, for example, that mass migration has pushed up house prices. Of course, it doesn't look like the government have chosen to actually do anything about it. You see talk now that the mass migration is going to continue. Now, in terms of what the government intends to do moving forward, the Office for Budget Responsibility, what we now see in their report, the working assumption is that net migration is going to remain at about 200,000 a year from 2026 onwards. So they are assuming that net migration is going to decline, but only from 224,000 a year in 2023 to over 200,000 a year from 2026 onwards, comparing to 136,000, 129,000 in those years in their March forecast. And as others have pointed out there, those net migration figures are actually higher than previously expected. So are the government seriously, when we've got, with higher taxes now, many questioning whether this is a Conservative government, and I write about this today for Heathen News, are we seriously going to see the government continue with a massively unpopular policy of mass migration, which is a choice post-Brexit given we now have ended EU open borders? Let me know what you make of all of that in the comments below, guys. Would you like to see net migration brought down to the tens of thousands as we saw previous Conservative leaders and Prime Ministers pledge. Let me know your thoughts. I'll keep bringing you the very latest on this and more. Please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.